Well, now I want to turn to Martin Brechbiel for the Scratch Builder's Corner.
Where were we? I don't remember. Oh yeah, okay. So we had sides, a roof section, and a car base last week. So this week, well, we've got pieces. We should put them together and make something that's not a pile of pieces and start building a car. So we put the sides, the roof, and the car base and one end together. It's fairly straightforward. I mean, we have all the nice overhang. It matches the car base, some carpenter's glue and some weights, and it's together. It's pretty easy to do. Everything fits and lines up. Both sides. There's no door on this side. And on the back end, there's no door, but there's more vents and another ladder. So we still need a fourth side or the missing end. And this end does get a door. So we have some scribe siding that was introduced 2 or 3 weeks ago as a blank for the siding. It's lined out for the door, and I've got a piece of 1/32 basswood, sheet basswood. It's a little bit bigger than the end blank, which is actually too big for the end as well. We'll trim that down. So we take the 1/32 and we turn that into a door with using some 1x stock. Just glue that on top of it, frame out a door. It's pretty easy to do. Just cut it in place, glue it down with some carpenter's glue, a little bit of weight on top of it while the glue sets. Go have a cup of tea, come back, add some more 1x stock because it doesn't take long for carpenter's glue to set well enough to work with it on 1/32 wood. And we have our outline for the door, where it's going to go. Okay, so we open up the hole for the door. This is a little tricky to do. That's a 16th inch scribe siding, and there's not much wood here at the top. So this is one of those occasions where I'll actually put a piece of wood across the back, glue it in place first to make sure I don't break this. If you do break it, it's no big deal. It's going to break right at one of these lines right here or right here. You glue it back together with some carpenter's glue and don't worry about it. Okay, on the back side of the rest of it, the rest of that 1/32 stock gets glued to the back of the wall. And that gives you a cavity to drop the door into. So that's how you build the other end. And then just trim that to match the space that's left over and glue it in place as well. But we'll come back to that in a second. We need a step for that side door. That's just a piece of brass angle and some 15 thousandths by 60 thousandths brass. Clip that together with a hemostat into a clamp and a little bit of flux, a little bit of solder, and 4 holes drilled in it. You can just see the holes, 4 holes drilled in this, and that's ready to go on the side, just like that. So you put that on there with some a little bit of goo, a little bit of CA. Do the same thing with the stirrup steps. And then you've got the holes pre-drilled. So now you have guides for drilling holes into the wood. And those are just pins, regular dress pins, nothing fancy. A little bit, cut them short, a little bit of CA on the pin, shove it into the hole. That'll support those steps from not coming back off again very easily. They won't just be bumped and fall off like a lot of applied stuff is. Go to the other side, same story. I had a stray unmatched stirrup step, and same story. Do a little CA, some pins. This is left over from a Lundahl kit for a Penzi milk car, dairy reefer, and it was sitting in the tray, and I thought, well, let's put a handle over here for somebody coming up that ladder. It won't hurt them to have a little grab hold, be a little safe to get up on there and not fall flat on the track backwards. Keep the leftovers on the bench on little trays so I can find them, and every now and then one of them comes out and gets used and goes away. So, and there's your end door. You can see now a little bit of trim over the top here just to close that off. We got a doorknob. another pin. And this is why the end that we added on early on was a little bit narrow. We've got an anti-climber, a brass anti-climber. It's a precision scale. Chemtron is interesting. The bags, the one side of the bag, the package said precision scale on the front, and underneath the anti-climber it said Chemtron. So it must have been at a transition phase where they were putting parts in the same bags. A little bit of bending, a little bit of twisting, a little bit, clean up that casting. Goes right onto the end, actually onto the resin with a little bit of glue, a little bit of CA, snaps into place. You got to wiggle around a little bit to make sure you get it exactly where you want it. And you got to do that in about 8 seconds, because if you would take much longer than that, you're going to glue it in the wrong place along with one of your fingers. And removing the finger is more painful than moving the piece of brass. And that's where we're going to stop this week. That was 10, 12, 15 slides. So we'll stop there, and we'll finish more of it up next week.